Good evening and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I'm Tamiru Nimsat and we at Tar Television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. It is high time to say goodbye to illegal drugs, President warns. IMF confirms strong recovery, sees 3.1% growth next year. New digital agency to assume ICT's rule in coming months. News in detail. President Anukumar Dissanayake has declared the narcotics menace the most terrible disaster facing Sri Lanka and launched a comprehensive national campaign to eradicate it. The initiative was launched recently with a call for all citizens to join the fight against drugs. In a strong address, the President stated that the government has completely abolished political ties with underworld criminals and drug traffickers, allowing police to freely carry out their duties. He revealed that a significant part of the mysterious link between the drug underworld and politics has now been exposed, showing how deeply this disaster has penetrated the social fabric. The President emphasized that while there may be arguments on many issues, there can be no disagreement on eliminating the drug menace from the country. He described narcotics as the basis of all serious social problems prevalent today, leading to health issues, violence against women and children, and the collapse of education for the younger generation. The government has decided to provide leadership for what he called the broadest public campaign to eradicate drugs, building strong social consensus and public power against this scourge.
තනිව තනි පුද්ගලයන් මොනතරම් අභිලාෂයක් තිබුණත් තනිව තනි පුද්ගලයන් මොනතරම් බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තිබුණත් තනිව මේක කළ නොහැකි රජයකට පමණක් බෑ පොලිසියට පමණක් බෑ අපේ රාජ්‍ය යාන්ත්‍රණයට පමණක් බෑ මේ සඳහා සියලු දෙනා එකතු වෙන්න මම හිතනවා මේක තමයි අවස්ථාව අපි අවසාන වශයෙන් කියන්නේ ලොල්ලුණු අයටයි විකුණුන අයටයි වහාම ඉවත් වෙමු ඒට එරෙහිව ප්‍රබලතම මහජන ව්‍යාපාරය අපි ගොඩනගමින් තිබෙනවා මේ මහජන ව්‍යාපාරය අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ මායාකාරී කුණාටුව විනාශ කරනවා මේ මායාකාරී කුණාටුවෙන් අපේ දරුවන් නිදහස් කරගන්නවා මේ මායාකාරී කුණාටුවෙන් අපේ සමාජ නිදහස් කරගන්නවා මේ මායාකාරී කුණාටුවෙන් අපේ ජාතිය ගලව ගන්නවා ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි එකට එකතු වෙමු කියලා ආරාධනා කරමින් මම නතර වෙනවා.
The International Monetary Fund's Deputy Director for the Asia and Pacific Department, Thomas Helbling, has announced that Sri Lanka's economy is projected to grow by 3.1% next year. He stated this reflects a gradual return to the country's long-term growth trend following a strong rebound from the deep recessions of the years 2022 and 2023.
So we have indeed revised growth to 3.1% next year, but the reasons are different. I think the context to see it that Sri Lanka had a deep recession in 22-23 during the balance of payment crisis. So then once the government embarked on a reform program that was supported by the IMF, there was a strong rebound in growth. So last year growth, I believe, was 5%, and this year in the first half growth was 4.8%. Now some of that strong rebound was just normalization and in economic activity. In level terms, some of the growth effect is a bit more temporary, and that's what we see. Sri Lanka is going to its trend growth of 3.1%. And with the stronger rebound than we actually expected in 2024 and 25, we see sort of that return to trend happening a bit sooner.
In a further positive assessment, IMF Deputy Director confirmed their satisfaction with Sri Lanka's implementation of crucial structural reforms, particularly in the area of electricity pricing. This endorsement follows the recent staff-level agreement and acknowledges the government's success in reducing fiscal risks by budgeting for utility subsidies while continuing to meet all performance criteria.
On the program and electricity pricing, let me just mention the staff team to do the fifth review on the program was in the field. They reached staff level agreement, I believe was October 9th or October 10th. They will now, that's only staff level agreement. But I think this signals that the IMF has been satisfied also with the electricity pricing. As you know, electricity pricing is a continuous structural benchmark, reducing risks to the budget and to taxpayers from state-owned enterprises, including the utilities. I think the principle of cost recovery is a core principle enshrined in the program and the reforms, and the government has continued to meet the performance criteria.
The government has formally established GovTech Limited as the successor to the Information and Communication Technology Agency. The new entity is expected to become fully operational within the next 3 to 6 months.
GovTech has been incorporated as a legal entity with Dr. Hans Vijay Surya appointed as its chairman along with a full board of directors. Funding for the new institution will come from the national budget, supplemented by support from the Asian Development Bank and the World Bank. According to the Ministry of Digital Economy Acting Secretary Varuna Sri Dhanapala, a consultancy firm will be hired to design the organization's structure before the recruitment process begins. Meanwhile, the liquidation process for ICTA will proceed in parallel with the Treasury instructed to commence winding down the existing agency. The Acting Secretary confirmed that ICTA will receive minimal funding in next year's budget as its projects are either completed this year or transferred to GovTech. The establishment of GovTech represents a significant restructuring of Sri Lanka's digital governance infrastructure, aiming to accelerate the country's digital transformation agenda.
Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. World Bank representatives have emphasized the need for an updated and accurate data system to identify genuine beneficiaries for the Aswasama Social Security Program. The International Lending Institution has offered technical support to help establish this comprehensive system.
During a parliamentary committee meeting attended by finance officials and lawmakers, World Bank senior economist Francesca Lamana stated that merely having citizen information in a database isn't sufficient for identifying welfare recipients. She emphasized that data must be properly verified and analyzed to correctly identify those eligible for benefits, describing such a system as a productive investment for the country. Parliamentarians participating in the discussion suggested that beneficiary selection should involve local committees and that lists should be publicly displayed in villages to ensure transparency. Program implementation officials acknowledge challenges due to inadequate information provided to field officers, but noted that measures are being taken to properly inform divisional secretaries and Gramanildari officers about their roles. The World Bank delegation reaffirmed their readiness to provide necessary technical support and international expertise for establishing the comprehensive social security data system.
The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the signing of 33 separate memoranda of understanding for development projects across the Eastern Province. The initiative is funded through a substantial multi-sectoral grant of over 2.3 billion rupees provided by the Government of India.
නැගෙනහිර පළාත තුල බහු ආංශික ව්‍යාපෘති ගණනාවක් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ඉන්දියානු රජයෙන් ප්‍රධානයක් ලබා ගැනීම. අතරම ඉන්දියානු රජයෙන් සම්පූර්ණ ප්‍රධානයක් අපිට ලැබුණා. නැගෙනහිර පළාතේ අධ්‍යාපන, සෞඛ්‍ය, දීවර විවිධ ශේෂ්ත්‍ර සඳහා ව්‍යාපෘති ගණනාවක් කරන්න. ඉතින් අන්නේ ව්‍යාපෘති අතරම ගත්තොත් 33ක් තියෙනවා. ඒ ව්‍යාපෘති 33 ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම සඳහා රාජ්‍ය පරිපාලන අමාත්‍යාංශයත් එක්ක අවබෝධතාවය උසුම් 33කට එළඹිය යුතුව තියෙනවා.
The Cabinet of Ministers also approved a major recruitment drive to fill 8,547 vacancies across various government ministries and provincial councils. The decision follows recommendations from a special committee appointed to review public sector recruitment needs.
රාජ්‍ය සේවයේ බඳවා ගැනීම පිළිබඳව පහුගිය කාලේ පුරාවට රටේ පැවතුන ආර්ථික තත්ත්වය සහ පැවතුන ආණ්ඩුවල ප්‍රතිපත්ති තීරණ මත කාලයක් තිස්සේ රාජ්‍ය සේවයට බඳවා ගැනීම නිසි ආකාරව සිද්ධ වෙලා තිබුණ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා බොහෝ ආයතනවල පුරප්පාඩු ගණනාවක් ඇති වෙලා තිබුණා. ඒ නිසා මෙය සමාලෝචනය කරලා ඒ බඳවා ගැනීම පටිපාටිය නිවැරදි ඉටු කරන්න අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමියගේ මූලිකත්වයෙන් කමිටුවක් පත් කරන්න පහුගිය දෙසැම්බර් මාසයේ තීරණය කරා. ඒ අනුව ඒ කමිටුවේ වාර්තා කීපයක් අවස්ථා කීපයකදී ඉදිරිපත් වුණා.
Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Agriculture, livestock, land and irrigation Minister K.D. Lanka says that each and every land which has not been cultivated should be harvested for economic incentives. Minister Lanka made these observations during a function by the Land Reform Commission to distribute free deeds for lands in the Kandy district last Wednesday.
ඔබ තමුන්නාන්සලා වගේම අනුරාධපුරයේ මගේ ඉඩමකට ඔප්පුවක් හදාගන්න දීර්ඝ කාලයක් තිස්සේ මම කටයුතු කරගෙන ආවා. දැන් මේ වෙනකොට කොහොම හරි ඉඩම් කච්චේරි තියලා ඒ සිද්ධ වීම ඔක්කොම වෙලා දැන් මගේ මේසේ උඩට ෆයිල් එක ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මට ඔප්පුවක් ලබා ගන්න මටම දැන් අස්සම් කරන්න වෙලා තියෙනවා. පැහැදිලි වුණාද දන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මන් තීරණය කරා මම්ම අස්සම් කරලා මට ඔප්පුව මම ගන්නෙ නැහැ කියලා. දැන් මම්ම අස්සම් කරලා මගේ ඔප්පුව මං ගත්තොත් ඒ හැබැයි දීර්ඝ කාලයක් තිස්සේ මේ ක්‍රියාවලියක ඇවිල්ලා තමයි දැන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් මම්ම අස්සම් කරලා මගේ ඔප්පුව ගත්තොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ලාලාගේ ඔප්පුව ලියාගෙන ඔක්කොටම කලින් නේද? ඒ නිසා මං තීරණය කරා මං ඒක අස්සම් කරලා ගන්නෙ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඒ තීරණයට අනුව බැලුවොත් අපේ ආණ්ඩුව ආයි මේ රටේ වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැති නිසා මට කවදාක්වත් ওই ඔප්පුව ගන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මං ඒ තීරණයක ඉන්නවා ගන්නෙ නැහැ කියලා.
Sri Lanka's tourism sector continues its strong recovery with over 137,000 visitors arriving in the first 26 days of October. The latest figures show significant growth compared to the same period last year.
According to data from the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, the country welcomed 137,876 tourists during this period, maintaining the positive momentum seen throughout this year. India remains the dominant source market, contributing nearly 30% of all arrivals with over 41,000 visitors. The United Kingdom and China follow as the second and third largest markets respectively. The daily arrival numbers shows consistent performance, with peaks reaching over 7,000 visitors on certain days. This brings the total tourist arrivals for the year to nearly 1.87 million, positioning the sector well for achieving its annual targets. The growth reflects successful marketing efforts and improved connectivity, with several airlines having resumed or expanded operations to Sri Lanka this year.
Sri Lanka's northern city of Jaffna has earned prestigious global recognition, being ranked among the 25 best destinations to visit next year. The leading travel guide Lonely Planet placed Jaffna second on its Best in Travel 2026 list.
The publication highlights Jaffna's rich culture, distinctive cuisine and island adventures as key attractions for international travelers. Lonely Planet specifically mentions family-run homestays like Malabar Homestay that have been reviving cultural tourism since the Civil War ended. The guide recommends visiting historical sites including the restored Jaffna Public Library, the Portuguese-built Jaffna Fort, and recommends taking ferries to nearby islands like Delft and Nainitiv. It also notes the city's excellent connectivity through multiple transport options and praises the deep-rooted hospitality of the local community. This recognition comes as a significant boost for tourism in Sri Lanka's northern region, potentially attracting more international visitors to explore beyond the country's traditional southern beach destinations.
With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.